Former boxing world champion George Groves believes Jake Paul vs. Conor McGregor will happen next. Groves believes Paul will fight McGregor in a three-format hybrid contest consisting of boxing, wrestling and bare-knuckle. Jake Paul may have broken his jaw in two places in his heavyweight fight against former two-time unified world heavyweight champion Anthony Joshua on December 19, but George Groves is backing him to return to action in a high-profile fight next year. The former world super-middleweight boxing champion sat down with BetVictor Casino to give his assessment of Paul vs. Joshua, and what could be next for the problem child going forward. The American may have suffered a one-sided beating at the hands of AJ, which resulted in being knocked out in round 6, but he was quick to call out Saul Canelo Alvarez in the aftermath and has confirmed he will continue with boxing going forward. Upon Paul's return, his profile will probably be bigger than ever, having gone 6 rounds with Joshua. The 28-year-old is likely already plotting his next move too, which could even involve a switch from boxing to another combat sport. Groves feels this is highly likely, and is backing Paul's next fight to be a hybrid bout against none other than Conor McGregor. The Englishman feels that a crossover fight between Paul and McGregor, perhaps even across different formats, is likely and could even happen as soon as 2026. McGregor is currently back in training and is planning a UFC White House clash with Michael Chandler next summer, but could well park his MMA to one side in favor of a super fight with the former Disney Channel star. Rumors of a potential fight between Conor McGregor and Jake Paul are in the early stages, but will undoubtedly gather momentum in the weeks and months to come. Particularly after George Groves' latest comments with Saint, feeling like it is a real possibility that Paul's next fight could be against the former two-division simultaneous UFC champion and MMA superstar. For now it looks like McGregor's sole focus is on returning to the octagon at UFC White House, with Paul focusing on his jaw healing whilst taking a few months' rest from the sport of boxing following his knockout defeat to Anthony Joshua. McGregor teased colossal fight purses for his impending UFC return at the White House next summer, but a fight against the problem child would likely prick his interests, especially with the amount of money that would be involved. Groves believes that Paul vs. McGregor is a real possibility, with the fight even being ruled as a hybrid contest across 3 different combat formats. The former boxing world champion has revealed his desire to see Paul vs. McGregor in one fight, but with boxing, wrestling and bare-knuckle boxing as the 3 different formats. Whether Jake Paul vs. Conor McGregor ever happens remains to be seen, but George Groves is confident that Paul would win the fight if the pair ever did battle. "I reckon Jake Paul beats Conor McGregor. Nothing can scare him anymore. He's fought Anthony Joshua, he's climbed Everest without a harness. Nothing can scare him. Conor McGregor certainly won't scare him. The trash talk will be exceptional. He might even get under Conor McGregor's skin," Groves told BetVictor Casino. The former world champion feels that McGregor's boxing ability is very limited, and a fight between the Irishman and Paul would do massive numbers as a 3-format hybrid bout. Conor McGregor is the biggest name in mixed martial arts and very limited in his boxing ability. "I think that'll be the route Paul will go down. It could be a boxing match for the first 3 rounds, then a wrestling match, and then just bare knuckle for the last 3. I make Jake Paul the favorite," concluded Groves.